Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. By the way, shout out to Marilyn up in the house tonight. All right. Today I have with us, he's a producer, actor, and he's starring in two amazing movies right now. There's one, which I'm going to be in as well. It's called
Absolutely
Breakfast, yes. And then another one, it's called SABILLA 6. I have with us Matt Burns. Matt, welcome to the Horror Room.
Hey, what's up, Travis? Good to finally be here. I've been seeing all my friends on here. I'm glad I finally got on. I've been seeing all my friends on here. I've been envious of them.
Brother, it's been a pleasure, man. And I love the Harris Nightmare t-shirt you're wearing, man. Listen, if you're up in the Maryland area, swing by Westminster and check it out if you're a horror fan. All right. So,
Absolutely.
Matt, let's jump in first and let's talk a little bit about Blood and Breakfast. Tell my audience a little bit about it.
All right. Well, like I said, I don't want to give too many spoilers away or whatever, but I mean, but yeah, it's basically kind of a horror whodunit. It was an idea that myself and director who was on here a few weeks ago, Mark Byrne. He and I have been friends for a long time. We've done several movies together. He was actually on the first movie I ever did back in like 2007 called Gypsy Vampire: The Final Bloodlust with Conrad Brooks from Planet Out from Outer Space and all the Ed Wood stuff. And we met on that set, and like I said, we've been working together, for a little over probably 5-6 years now. And we've done some cool movies from Bigfoot to Remnants to Brazen Impact to One of One, and now we're on Blood and Breakfast, which is like I said, a horror whodunit, I guess. We got a monster cast for this thing. I mean, and then the bed and breakfast we shot at the Amberson House in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, which is a great small town place. They have a theater there where we do all our local premieres, like Shriek Show, and we just did one for a drama called Anna Key. It's just a fantastic little town. They've really embraced, the local film community. And then, like I said, I mean, in this movie we have, Nancy Ann Ritter, who was in the original Scream film, Beatrice Buplé from she was Freddy Krueger's mom in The Dream Child, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then we have Jim Crut, the helicopter zombie from Dawn of the Dead, Lisa Neild, who's a former Playboy cover model, on Scream Queen, and of course we got like Mel Heflin, Morgan Thompson Milliam, who Morgan's done. Oh my God, what isn't that girl? And she's worked really hard. Mel too. We met her and Mel, and the other, and I was gonna say, those two have been in so much, and they're two of the hardest working people and two of the biggest sweethearts you'll ever meet. So great, like I said, so it was great to work with them on this, and I mean, it's just a great cast. I mean, and we can't wait to get this thing out to the public, which hopefully will be this fall. We're thinking more and more it's going to be this fall, and like I said, we can't wait to get this thing out because it's going to be so cool, and hopefully we'll be getting a trailer out soon as well for it. So keep an eye on that. Absurd Productions Pictures.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm going down this weekend.
It's a ball. Y'all are shooting this weekend. Absolutely, you're going to be shooting with actually another icon of the indie horror. Well, George Stover is actually going to be
nice.
So that's going to be really cool to work with him. George is he's a wonderful guy. And I mean, he was in like everything from John Waters to Don Dohler he's done a lot of great stuff in indie films. So it's always a pleasure to work with him as well.
Now, living in but by the way, let's talk about Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. I had the pleasure of going to Waynesboro last year, and I went for a day trip because I thought there was going to be a Comic-Con that they actually drove down for a Comic-Con, drove up for a Comic-Con.
Yeah,
but it was canceled, and I didn't look at the details. It was canceled, but I got a chance to walk around that area. There's a really nice bookstore and a coffee shop. There was also, I saw the movie theater. It's such a nice, quiet town, and it's a young town too, which I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so, because everybody thinks it's like an old. I guess everybody thinks it's like an old head town because of all the antique shops and things like that. But I mean, actually, it's got a really, really good underground of like artistic individuals and whatnot, which is really cool. I mean, and some of them have really embraced the indie film community, which is great. I mean, because you always want to. I mean, it's just been great to have such a great pool of local talent. So I mean, it really helps. It really helps things along.
And being you're from the Maryland area, I see you rocking your Orioles hat all the time.
Right.
And when I first started doing this channel, I did not, living in Baltimore, I did not know there was such a huge indie horror scene in Maryland. Right. I had no idea until I interviewed Ken Arnold, and he told me, he goes like, "God, Travis, Frederick, Maryland is like popping right now when it comes to
it really is." Yeah, actually, I just finished up a film, and we're premiering at a Creature Feature weekend with one of Ken's counterparts, Jordan Miller. And I've known Jordan since he was a young kid or whatever, because I used to before I was into movies, I booked music. I used to do like punk rock and metal shows for like these old like bingo halls and whatnot. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to do that because you got to meet a lot of people. And Jordan was one of the kids who used to play, and I mean, the kid was always talented, whether he was playing music, whether he was doing whatever. I mean, as a filmmaker, he's very talented as well. And we collaborated on a film called The Only Ones, which is actually premiering in April, in a few weeks at the Creature Feature weekend. It's like a soft release or whatever. We're just because it's not like 11:30 at night. I mean, it's kind of a late screening or whatever. It's kind of a last minute thing. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I mean, that movie is. I think it looks great. I think the actors are really good. I mean, I thought it was made really well. Also has Nancy Ann Ritter and Jim Crut and Christopher Inlow. And actually, the opening monologue was made by Brett Wagner, who was the Lost Leatherface from 2003, and John Dies in the End, The Crazies, Sons of Anarchy. Brett's a great guy, and he's been. I mean, I actually know him really well, and he's been a wonderful guy every place I've booked him. So yeah, he's just really cool, and it was really cool for him to do this monologue for us or whatever. It's kind of reminiscent. I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of reminiscent of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, that was kind of nice. the vibe we were going for anyway. I guess Texas Chainsaw. But yeah, so like I said, but yeah, it was definitely a great movie. I cannot wait for people to see this thing. So yeah, The Only Ones. You can check it out online. I think on Facebook it's The Only Ones movie. I think it's also The Only Ones movie on Instagram, and we have a teaser trailer up that you can check it out. I think I'm in it for like 2 seconds, literally. I think I'm in it for like 2 seconds. But I am in the movie. I actually play like a side character. But yeah, no, it was a wonderful experience. And I really hope that people take to that movie, because I think it's a really cool concept. I think it was made really well. So I hope. Yeah. But yeah, Ken Arnold actually knows Jordan. I think they've worked together on some projects as well. As Jordan either is DP or sound guy for him. So yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, no, Frederick is definitely doing a lot. That's of course where the Blair Witch Project was based out of, and I know Eduardo Sanchez still has a lot of ties to this area as well. And I mean, it's just, yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot going on right now in indie film. There's another company out there called Key 13. They're the ones that did the drama premiere at Waynesboro Theater last Friday for Anna Key, and they do a lot of cool stuff. Of course, again, they're not exclusively horror, just like Absurd Productions Pictures isn't exclusively horror. But yeah, it's just, yeah, but this area's got a lot going for it right now, and I really hope that I really hope that people continue to grow and prosper with it.
And I love to see that all of the horror creators in DMV are so tight knit. I mean, you got Shonda Rawlings, you got Mike McGlynn, you got Shannon, and I know some other people I'm forgetting about, but like it seems like you guys are so tight knit.
Yeah, it's we all I mean, well, again, if you have a vision, that, I mean, it takes an army to do this. I mean, as you'll see, when you finally when you get on set this Saturday, even though you think it's easy, it's not. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's funny, like we were filming the last part of Head on the Writer's Block, and there was a woman there that was just at the expo or whatever, watching us do it or whatever, and she's like, "Wow, you got to do so many takes, you got to do all this stuff or whatever," and I'm like, "Why do you think these movies take 2-3 years to make?" I mean, because it's very it is time consuming. I mean, thankfully, you got guys that know their craft and can crank them out like Mark. But I mean, but a lot of these folks are newer, and I mean, it's not quite as, they don't quite have the speed down yet. But again, you don't want to just keep cranking out crap either. You want to, obviously you want to put out the best quality product you can. Because I never understood these people that always say, "Oh yeah, I want to intentionally make the worst movie ever." Why do you intentionally want to make the worst movie ever? Why? I mean, if you're going to put all that effort into it, and all these people are going to put all this effort into it, and believe in your vision, and believe in the project or whatever, why are you going to do something that's intentionally bad? I mean, the beauty of Landmine from Outer Space and those Ed Wood movies, those Roger Corman movies, yes, they were low budget, but they were trying to be good. Obviously due to shortcomings, they weren't good. To a lot of people, but it's just, they wanted to make make a quality product. They weren't just making something intentionally to suck. You know what I mean? Which I don't understand people that talk like that. I mean, you because these things are so hard to make, and they're so time consuming, and they're just a lot of times just emotionally draining, and so why would you want to make that bad? Why would you not want to put your 110% effort into it? But what do I know, right?
But even like I'm a fan of bad movies, right? And
there's nothing wrong with bad movies. I'm just saying,
they weren't meant to be. But if you look at Tommy Wiseau movies, if you even look at the guy who did Birdemic, they did not envision their movie to be a bad movie. It just happened to become an iconic bad movie.
Right, that's what I said. Just like Ed Wood back in the day. Ed Wood, he hired union actors. He wasn't like he was making. He's not like he was just pulling people off the street. Like, hey, you want to be in a movie? Come on, let's shoot or whatever kind of thing. No offense, I hate to say kind of like we do. Don't really have an experience either. I hate to say, but people if people are strong enough and want to they share your vision. That's all you can do. It was really cool. Like, because we just finished up another project called Head on the Writer's Block or whatever, and we're thinking about doing something cool with that. So but we just finished up, because it's an anthology film as well. So it's gonna, but we got all of it done now. So now all we got to do is edit it together or whatever. And but it's just been, even that movie took over a year to make. It took just to shoot it. We still got to edit it. So usually in editing is the hard part. Usually it's just, editing is the time-consuming part. So, but yeah, people. I don't understand people that want to make something intentionally bad. But there's nothing wrong with bad movies, especially like you said, like the Tommy Wiseau thing, especially when he wants to make something good and he still thinks it's good or whatever.
He really does.
He really stands by his product. And I'll give him props for that. But that's an interesting guy right there. That's how you're supposed to do this.
So talking about Maryland and doing something. So I live in a pretty scary part of Maryland, and if you're from Maryland, you know this area, and it's called Dundalk. You're
in Dundalk? I know Dundalk.
Dundalk.
Dundalk on.
So the stereotype about Dundalk, right? It's the redhead stepchild of the DMV.
It is kind of. I hate to say this, kind of the white trash, the trailer park area of Baltimore. But it's true. It is kind of the. One time I was in Dundalk actually. Let me tell a quick story here, real quick. Mm-hmm. I was at the Shell station. I think it was on the one main
Avenue.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was there was a Shell station. It was in front of a shopping center, and I think I went in there to get something to drink or something like that. And I walked by these. There was two girls and a guy, and you could tell that they were not high quality people. But the guy, they said something. The girl said something to the guy or something like something about smoking crack or something like that. The guy stands up, puts his hands on his hips like he is about to he's about to deliver the Gettysburg Address basically or whatever. And he says, "I don't smoke crack. I shoot dope."
That's Dundalk, man.
Does that sound about right? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Dundalk. That's fucking Dundalk. Dundalk is the one place you drive the street and you see one person, and you drive down a little bit further and you see a person that looks just like the other one.
Some kind of clones or what? I don't know if they have clones down there or some kind of government.
It's called incest, but it is in West Virginia. It's a big city, West Virginia. You know what I mean? Like
kind of, sort of, yeah. That's what I said. It's white trash. It's white trash Baltimore. So that's why I call it white trash Baltimore.
100%. It's white trash Baltimore. But then, then you drive 15 minutes down the road and you have $1 million houses. But that's Baltimore.
Yeah, up in like Towson, like that way. Yeah, down that way. I was gonna say it's true.
Yeah, that's Baltimore in general. You drive 5 minutes in either direction, and you go from $1 million houses and then boom, you're in a crack area.
You're in the ghetto. Yeah, you're in the ghetto or whatever. It's strange how that works. Yeah, because I remember I used to go to a record store down in Baltimore, down on Broadway, called Reptilian Records, and it was in the shitty section. It was in a really shady neighborhood or whatever. But then you drive down the road a little bit, and then you're on Fells Point, which is the rich area. It was like, wow, it's like, it's
Yeah.
so weird like that. But yeah, no, out here is, I mean, out here is kind of like Dundalk. Actually, it's. I mean, depending on where you. I mean, it's just like any place. Every even Dundalk, they have their nice places and they have their
It does.
their lesser areas. I mean, that's any place. I think you go. Even Waynesboro has some shady areas, which is funny. But I mean,
Really?
I mean, yeah, I mean, because I mean, there's always everywhere you go, there's rundown houses. I mean, everywhere you go, there's drugs. Everywhere you go, there's. I mean, just it's everywhere now. You're not. I mean, you're not going to escape it. I mean, Waynesboro's done a good job of cleaning up because a few years ago, it was. I mean, Waynesboro was not in the greatest shape either. But thanks to people like Bill Kohler and whatnot, they really cleaned the town up. I mean, and so it didn't turn into Hagerstown Junior basically or whatever, because Hagerstown's got a rough. It's kind of a rough spot as well, as you probably heard. So, I mean,
and Cumberland is
Cumberland's even worse. Yeah, Cumberland. That's well, because I mean the worst thing, but the problem with Cumberland is it's out in the middle of nowhere too. That's the sad part too, is that there's nowhere for those people to go. Basically, there's no I mean you're kind of stuck out there. I mean, because that's where my family's originally from. Actually, believe it or not, it's Cumberland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I still have family. I think I still have family. A lot of the family has died off because they lived there during the golden days with the railroad, and they lived there when Cumberland. I mean, people forget Cumberland was the second biggest city in Baltimore once upon a time. Second biggest city in Maryland. I mean, yeah, it was the Queen City. Yeah, back in the 40s and back in the 30s and 40s, it was huge because it was all the railroads went through there. I mean, and then once people started using tractor trailers and stuff, that's when Cumberland died or whatever. That's when they became they became the drug infested thing that you see now. But I mean, but it's sad, really. I mean, but yeah, that's where my family's from or whatever, and we got out of there, kind of in the nick of time, I guess. But but yeah, once everything dried up there, that's just how it is. I mean, but yeah, I think every small town. I mean, every town has their good and bad. I mean, just like, but yeah, Dundalk. That's too crazy. Man. That's a small world. That's
I would love for a horror filmmaker to make a movie in Dundalk. I mean, I feel like, it has a backdrop for a horror movie.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I mean, you have to find some places to do it. But I'm sure you probably could. I'm sure we can probably find some places down there we can do it. I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. As I said, yeah, there's definitely some stuff going on there. But I mean, yeah, it's. But yeah, it's good because there's Dundalk. Like I said, yeah, but then you drive, like I said, you get 50 minutes away, you're in Towson or Bel Air or
White Marsh, and you're
White Marsh. Yeah, like the beautiful mall and the fucking the high end shopping centers, like all this other stuff. Then you go to Dundalk, and then you go to Dundalk. It's like all this is the Hollies, and it's like it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, it is what it is.
But it's crazy that I work with a lot of out-of-state investors, right, who are buying in Baltimore like crazy, and they don't know like what's the bad area and what's not because these real estate.
Oh yeah, which is funny. They're buying like these blocks of land which have been like dilapidated for like 30 years. It's like, what is going on here? They
buy them sight unseen because the shady real estate agents in Baltimore are like, oh yeah, this is in a good area right here, and then like. I go with them. I'm like, you bought some house. You bought a block where? I'm like, why would you do that? Like,
yeah, the thing. I mean, the houses are all burned out. Like, there's nothing even there. It's like, I mean, I think that's where a lot of my friends like. I mean, because I know some people that do like a lot of like action movies down in Baltimore too, and they do like a lot of like stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that's not where they shoot because there's nobody there. There's nobody there. It's like, I mean, it's like the land that time forgot. Kind of. It's crazy. I mean,
it's sad.
But yeah. It's sad, very sad. You're absolutely. I mean, sad is the best word for it. I mean, it's just it's interesting times we live in. That's for sure. Anyway, we've gotten way off track here. Man.
Way off track, man.
That's
what I do, man. That's what I do.
That's all. That's great. Life happens.
Yeah. So, is it pretty exciting? I mean, you've been a horror fan, and now you're making horror movies, and you're getting to work with Nancy Ritters, and you're getting to work with Beatrice Vogel. And you can work with Brett Wagner. I mean, are you like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing?
Yeah, absolutely. It never gets like I was telling my buddy who had the premiere last week. I said, dude, it never gets old. Seeing your movie up on that marquee and stuff, it never gets old. I mean, you always. I mean, because again, because you put so much time and energy and effort into this stuff, and it's worth it. It's just so worth it. I mean, it's just such a wonderful feeling.
Now you also have SABILLA 6 coming out with my homegirl.
Yeah,
So
Chonda and Shannon Atkins. That's more Shannon.
Shannon, yes, and
Yeah,
Shannon,
that's her brain.
yes,
That's more her brainchild. But I
yes,
am involved with it. Yes, I'm definitely involved with it. That's going to be more. That's more of almost like a true crime type thing or whatever. Which is really. I mean, again, because here's the thing. You can only make so many movies where. Yeah, you can only make so many of the same movies. At least that's the way I feel. Yeah, it just after a while, it just seems like. I mean, some of these guys, it just feels like they're getting bored with it or something, and they just keep cranking out the same thing over and over again.
yeah.
I mean, which I mean, yeah, that's their thing. That's their thing. But I mean, I always like to. I mean, I try to do something different every time. I mean, whether it's
Yeah.
a Valentine's Day movie or doing like an anthology or just I mean you try, I mean because horror is just because a lot of people look down on it anyway. They think, oh, that's not art. That's garbage. That's not art. It's just naked people getting chased by a guy with a machete or whatever. Which which some is, which some is, I guess.
A lot of it is, yeah.
But SABILLA 6, I mean, a lot of that we're trying to bring it back to good stories again, because we have a great writer. You had him on here, Todd Martin. Yeah, Todd. We work with Todd a lot. He's a great guy, and I mean, he writes a good story. I mean, that's the thing. We want to bring back stories to this because a lot of times these movies you watch, it's like there's no story. You don't care about the characters. I mean, there's no development.
I say it all the time, man. I say it all the time. The older I'm 41 now, man. Character development.
So am I. That's probably what's so nice.
I know. So character development is so fucking important to me when it comes to horror now. Yeah, I can watch every once in a while a fucking slasher where there's no point. I don't care. But I like to care. I like to know a little something and feel something about the fucking victims at least. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I mean, I'm a heterosexual male. I like tits as much as the next guy. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
But I mean, I'm a heterosexual guy. But at the same time, it's like can we just please get something to go along? I mean, it's just I mean, even like the Italian movies back in the day. Yeah, they had a lot of nudity, but at least they had a story. The Dario Argento stuff and and the Mario Bava stuff. And I mean, it's just yes, they had that stuff, but they also had a story. They also had characters. I mean, it's that's the problem with it's like they a lot of times that gets lost. Because I don't know if it's something gets lost in translation or what, but it's so weird. And like I said again, every once in a while you just want to put on a slasher flick just to just to experience that. But at the same time, it's like with SABILLA 6, we wanted. Shannon was very, 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 very. She wanted to make a point. There's going to be no nudity in it, no nudity at all. We were going to make sure. I mean, because again, that seems to be oversaturating the indie film market too. And and like I said, we're going to have a story. It's going to be an actual story about actual characters and what and what's going on or whatever. And yes, we have a killer who's kind of similar to some of that would similar to be a slasher film, but at the same time, it's like but at the same time, there's reasons he's doing it. He's not just walking around killing, just bop. You're just killing random people.
It's gotta have a purpose.
It's gotta have a purpose. Exactly. That's what we're trying to. I know that's what a lot of my crew is trying to do now. It's like we're trying to get away from the mindless schlock. Now again, the mindless schlock people love that stuff too, and I mean, and like I said, sometimes I do as well, just as much as the next guy. But I mean, it's just trying to do something a little more, intellectual, I guess.
And SABILLA 6 has an interesting story from what I understand, and it's about online dating killer. Am I correct?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the short way of putting it, it's kind of like a modern day Strangeland. Basically, it's kind of like how Strangeland, was one of the first movies. I don't know if you ever saw that movie with Dee Snider or whatever, but yeah, I was gonna say it was, how that. I mean, that movie was way ahead of its time. I thought. I mean, it was way ahead of its time. With the online stuff, and then like this creep who was online stalking these girls and whatnot. And yeah, this is kind of a more up to date version of that. If it's.
And it resonates because it resonates with everyone, including myself, because every single one of us at some point, I think, has been done online dating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And even I can imagine for women, the level of fucking creepers is probably on another fucking level.
Oh my God, Shannon and I mean, to her and Amanda, Megan, and a lot of them just they'll even something to me as a joke. I just see these guys. I'm like, this is insane. I'm like, this guy literally is probably in his basement right now wearing like a furry jock strap. Oh my God, like I mean, it's just that it is just so. I mean, some of the stuff these guys say is just. I mean, I don't know if they're doing. I don't know if they're doing it for I don't know if they're doing it to get a joke or to get a rise out of somebody, but it's just.
I think it works.
It always does. Because it's just so sick
because I think it's a numbers thing, right? I'm a sales guy, right? It's a numbers thing. So you say anything to X amount of people, eventually a percentage is going to say yes, right? Because I've heard women say, "Oh my goodness, every guy on here is saying, do you want to fuck?" Right? Now here's my thing. So those guys will have to be completely insane if they're doing that over and over again and they're getting the same response. No. So somebody's saying yes.
Oh, that's I've always said that too. It's like, like guys that do the dick pics, if you will. Yeah, I mean, that's a problem with a lot of girls too. These guys do these dick pics. I've heard of guys doing this stuff or whatever. And it's funny. It's like every time these girls post about, oh my God, some guy sent me their dick, blah blah. Yeah, every time they say that, I'm just like, what guy did this work for? Because it had to have worked for somebody for all these guys to keep freaking doing it. It doesn't make. I mean, yeah, that's. I want to meet a guy that worked for. I do. I want to meet a guy that actually worked for. I do, because I've never met one. Not to my knowledge, I've never met one. So if if it's worked for you, comment below. I want to talk to you.
Matt, listen, I have never, the dick pic thing has never it's crossed my mind. But here's my thing. How do you take a dick pic? Like, do you have someone take it for you? Like, I feel like I would not be able to get the fucking right angle.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, I've never done them either. Like, I mean, I don't, I mean, I say, I have no idea. I mean, it's just,
is somebody taking a picture for you? Like, I'm curious. Leave in the comments if you took a dick pic. Like, did you take it yourself or did someone take it for you?
Yeah, like I said, I get. Please comment, because we want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
And by the way, if any ladies are into dick pics, put a comment in.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, please. Yeah, that too. Yeah, because I want to know what because it's always been a curiosity. This has always been a curiosity, and obviously to you too. I mean, obviously since you're saying it as well. But yeah, it's like oh my God, it's like, why would you? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Because I've never had a woman just freely say, "Hey, send me a picture of your dick." Like, that's never.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I don't think that's
even
ever
like happened. even like serious girlfriends of mine have never said that. Really, like even like girl I've dated for years or have never said that. It's like, I mean,
so I'm like thinking, if a woman asked me that, I would question if that's even a woman. You know what I mean? I'd be like, especially if I met him online, I'd be like, is this a woman asking me for? I'm like, this must be a dude.
Might be, might be.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think it's.
I don't. I mean, again, it's just it's a lot of gray area there. That's for sure. But yeah, no. I am. Yeah, please. Like I said, I always. That's always been something that's bad. It's funny. That's always been something I've always had a question about as well. It's like, what? Like, does this work for you? Like, what
I feel like I would get the angle wrong. I feel like
exactly. It looked like 1 inch or something.
It looked like a hammerhead shark or something.
Yeah, it looked like my pinky finger or something like that. It wouldn't be right, man. You just can't, I mean, and like, it's not like you can look it up on YouTube or anything. I mean, I don't think they let you do that on YouTube. So, I mean, maybe OnlyFans, maybe, or was it Pornhub or something like that? Maybe I might do something like that.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, who's out there taking successful dick pictures where women are like,
oh, I gotta have that. Yeah, I gotta have that now. Yeah. Like, I gotta have that now. Yeah. No, I mean, maybe on like places like Tinder or something like that. I mean, maybe something.
I don't even think on Tinder.
Really? I've never used Tinder.
No. All right, yeah, Tinder. I've definitely. All right. The women on Tinder are a different breed of women.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, so they might find that flattering.
And again, this is no shame to anybody. You know, do what you want to do. I mean, we're horror fans, for God's sake. We've seen we've seen everything. So this is not we're not shaming anybody here. Okay, let's get that straight right now too. We're not shaming anybody. You know, I'm all for. I'm all for live your life, but I'm all for live your life and be happy. But it's just
But if you're sending unsolicited dick pictures.
You're a creep. Yeah, you're a creep. Stop it. You're a creep. Cut that shit out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, cut that shit out. But I was gonna say, but yeah, I mean, for people, I mean, that's, I mean, it's, but yeah, that's, cut that shit out. That's terrible. Don't quit doing that. But I mean, now again, the people that are into it and whatnot, if it's consensual, okay, fine. That's cool. That's cool. But but yeah. Anyway, Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, the SABILLA 6. Anyway, so back to the SABILLA 6. It's but yeah, that's literally what this is about. Literally, what the movie is about. I mean, it's just these weirdo guys that just as I said, the whole movie was inspired by what we've been talking about. These guys that are sending the dick pics, that are stalking people, that are that are sending these girls 20 messages a day, even though they don't even get a response. The kind of thing. It's just like
Because if I was a woman, I would not get on a dating site. I just feel like dating sites are filled with like the weirdest with weirdos. Like, I mean,
it seems that way.
I'm sorry. By the way, if you're not a weirdo, you're on a dating site. I'm not.
Yeah, again, this is just observations or whatever. But yeah, but it's just. But yeah, no, it's. I don't. It's definitely. There's definitely a lot going on with this. But yeah, that's literally what the SABILLA 6 is about. So it's literally about the level of creepiness that is on the internet right now. It's funny because I'm actually in the movie and I kind of play a creepy guy myself, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna give too much away here, but I'm not like I'm not exactly Prince Charming. Let's put it that way.
I'm about to say, did it take a lot of practice to be a creepy guy in a movie?
I'm not I'm kind of my character. I don't know if creepy is the right word. Definitely awkward and maybe a little. Maybe a little bit, but it's just again, it does actually a little bit because it's because you really got to practice to be that off-putting and weird or whatever kind of thing. Not that I'm exactly Captain Cool or Captain Ladies Man or anything like that. But at the same time, it's it does take some effort to do something like that, because it's funny because like I said, me and a few of the other guys that are in the movie are actually pretty nice guys. But it's always fun to explore something outside of yourself. That's in acting, you're going to take some chances like that. And I think a lot of the point is to not be yourself. You don't want to be. You want to keep. You want to keep growing and expanding emotions and whatnot as an actor. So yeah, it's fun to play some different roles.
But I think I could play a really good creepy guy in a movie, and
maybe we'll put that to the test sometime. Maybe we'll get.
I'm being serious. I think I can pull off a creepy guy. I got this creepy eye thing I can do and everything. Yeah, I think I can pull off a creepy guy.
Nice. Okay, we'll give that a shot sometime. We'll get one of the upcoming movies here.
All right. So, Matt, as you know, this is a horror channel, so I'm gonna ask you 3 random horror questions.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
All right. First question. This is a controversial one. What horror franchise do you wish they would stop making movies?
Oh, there's a few. there's a few. Funny thing is, actually, I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna have a bit of a different answer. I don't think any horror movie. I don't think any franchise in general should go past 3 movies. I think it's really, any. As I said, now there are exceptions, I guess, obviously, but for the most part, you should just stick to 3 movies or whatever. But if I had to choose, I really. Let me think here. Because I'm not really a big Conjuring fan. I'm not really a big Paranormal Activity fan. That kind of stuff kind of bores me. But I really wish they would stop making Evil Dead movies if they're not going to put Bruce Campbell in them. I know that's such a horror hipster thing to say, but I don't care. Evil Dead is Bruce Campbell. That's just how I feel. These new movies will never change my mind.
100% agree. I 100% agree.
Cool. So yeah, there you go.
Now, I recently did a top 5 ranking of the most annoying characters in a horror movie. Who did you find, would you say, is the most annoying character that you've seen in a horror movie?
The kid from the Babadook. Not even a contest. That kid in the Babadook ruined that entire goddamn movie for me. Yeah, that annoying kid from Babadook. Yeah, I was gonna say that was probably the one that. I mean, that's definitely the first one that comes to mind. I'm sure there are others, but that's definitely the first one that comes to mind.
Good one. That's a good one. My number one is the sister from the Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh my gosh, she gave me a fucking.
Oh yeah, that movie was full of annoying characters. I love.
Oh my god!
But it was worth watching. The bus massacre made it worth it. I'm sorry, the bus massacre made that movie.
It did. It really did.
Yeah. But yeah, she was awful. Yeah, you're right about that one. But yeah, I still got to stick with the kid from the Babadook. Yeah,
that's a good one, by the way.
Yeah.
Final question. Okay. Here's a good one. What male horror character do you think would translate great as a woman horror character? You know what I mean? Like we recently had a female Pinhead.
Yeah.
What's another iconic horror character you think would translate well as a woman?
Well, I was going to say Ghostface, but there already have been female Ghostface actually. So I mean, that's not. Yeah, I was going to say so that I can't really use that one. Okay. Let me think for a second. I mean, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Yeah, you've actually stumped me. You actually stumped me. I can't think of it. You really stumped me. I was like, man, that's a good one. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I love female driven horror movies. I love Carrie. I Spit on Your Grave. I mean, I love those movies. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not a sexism thing by any means. It's just wow. That is an interesting question. Trying to think here. Maybe
I'm like thinking in my head of one right now too.
What would you? Who'd you pick? Who'd you pick if you had a chance?
How about Candy Woman?
Like Candyman, but Candy Woman. That might work. I was gonna say
Candy Woman.
Yeah, that might work. I was gonna say I was gonna say maybe like a female Jeepers Creepers might be kind of cool.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, like a female Jeepers Creepers, like Jeepers Creepers beats like the Wasp Woman or something like that. That'd be kind of neat.
Because
like a female werewolf character too would be kind of cool. Like a female, like Wolf Woman or something like that would be kind of neat.
Because I'm thinking about the iconic ones. By the way, please don't give me shit for this one. But like Michael Myers, a woman, Michael Myers. Woman, Jason. Freddy. Like you knock those out, and then you have to start thinking about like secondary horror characters.
Right. That's what. Yeah, because I mean, and you can't do a female. I mean, they already have. Tiffany has the Bride of Chucky. So you have. I mean, so she's pretty close to him, I guess. Obviously. Yeah. So I mean, you can't really have a female Leprechaun. I mean, I'm trying to think. I was gonna say, female. I guess you could have a female Children of the Corn. I guess I'm trying to think of some other. And like I said, but I think a female Jeepers Creepers would be kind of cool. I don't know.
I agree.
I think that's one I'm going with. Yeah, there we go. I'll go with that one.
That's a good one. Yeah. All right, Matt. Where can everyone find you, my friend?
Well, they can find me on Facebook, Matt Burns. They can find me on Instagram, Matt Horror Fiend. I was gonna say I work with Absurd Productions Pictures. With Mark Byrne. I mean, absurdproductionpictures.com. I'm also the guest booker for a show in Raleigh, North Carolina called Carolina Fear Fest.
Yeah, I was there last year.
You were there last year. I was gonna say, yeah, that's awesome. I was gonna say, we got a great lineup this year too. I was gonna say we really got a good lineup this year as well. So, like I said, but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we're like I said, we're going. Like I said, hopefully we have another good show this year. But yeah, so like I said, yeah, those are the main places to find me or whatever. Like I said, yeah, just keep. I like to just hopefully we can just keep on making movies and keep on. Oh, also on Facebook, Small Town Horrors Productions. That is also I was also not place you can find out about more stuff.
I think I saw you last year. I think I saw you at the Raleigh one.
You probably did, yeah.
Because I applied for a press pass, right? So I had a press pass. I got it for free.
Okay.
And I was walking on my camera, you know, covering for the channel, and
I did meet you. I remember you now. Yeah, I did meet you. We didn't know who each other were at the time or whatever. But that's too funny, man. Small world. So, but awesome. No, this year they got like David Arquette, Heather Langenkamp, a lot of really good people. Bill Mosley, Jenna Jameson, a lot of really cool people. Costas Mandalore, a lot of really cool people this year.
Oh yeah, and by the way, next weekend, make sure to get down to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania for a creature feature. And
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, that's in 2 weeks.
Yep, and you'll see Matt there, and you'll see Travis Bruce with the Horror Realm.
They definitely come on out late Friday night. We're going to be doing the only one screening at that. So should come check that out.
Okay, all right. Because I got that weekend. I also got the New Jersey one in Atlantic City that weekend.
The same weekend. They're the same weekend, yeah. Why I hate when cons do that. They put them the same weekend.
Yeah, so I got a busy weekend of cons.
I was gonna say you'll be going all over the place, aren't you? So, like I said, but all right, man. Well, sounds great. Like I said, I mean, it had a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm sure you and I will talk soon.
Yes, it's been a blast, man. Thank you for coming on. Yeah, we're gonna see each other, man.
We'll see each other soon, but very soon, I'm sure.
Yes. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce.
I'm Matt Burns.
Matt Burns. Maryland all day, right?
Yep.
Maryland all day. All right, man. Have a good one, guys.